The Ironheart Disaster is the clearest example of how far Marvel has fallen and is showing how the MCU girl boss era is over. Now, Ironheart wasn't born out of audience demand, but it was born out of woke corporate mandates. Now, Ironheart wasn't asked for by fans, she was handed to them, and when they didn't cheer, well, we were called toxic. You see, Ironheart is a character that's been sitting on the shelf for the past 3 years because even Marvel knows that deep down, this thing is a bomb waiting to go off. Now it's being dumped onto Disney Plus in the middle of the content crisis where Ironheart is supposed to be the big fix, but it's not. It's a meltdown in motion. Now, Ironheart actually joins the ranks of, Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, characters nobody really connected with, but the studio keeps on shoving forward. Just like them, Ironheart was never about good storytelling. It was actually about sending a message, you see. And Ironheart never had a win over fans because Ironheart was designed in a lab of identity politics to fill a quota, not a gap in the universe. And even then, Ironheart couldn't even sell books, couldn't move merch, and couldn't even spark real conversation either, beyond forced praise and empty marketing, okay? Now, in the comics, Ironheart failed to connect with people from the start. Two runs both ended quickly. The sales were abysmal. Her trade paperback ranked near the bottom of the yearly charts. But instead of just learning from that failure, Marvel decided to double down. Now, Ironheart was dropped into Wakanda forever, not because she belonged there, but because they needed to say, see, she's important. And now this pretending like, Ironheart has always been central to the MCU's future. That rewrite of history has forced as is forced as a character itself. Now, this show was completed years ago. Okay, Marvel filmed it and saw what they had and then let it sit. They had every chance to shove it, delay it, or even quietly cancel it. But now they're too deep, the money's spent, the press is scheduled, and the best they can do at this point is try to hide it under the wave of better content. It's the same tactic they used with Echo, and we all saw how that ended. Now, the trailer tell you everything. You see, it dropped on the same day as James Gunn's Superman. And now ask yourself, why did they do this? Was it to ride the wave? Was it to bury it? I mean, either way, it got annihilated. Superman gave fans hope, but Ironheart gave them deja vu. The trailer was bland, the tone was confused, and the comment section mysteriously disappeared all of a sudden. And Marvel knew what was coming, and they knew it was going to get ratioed into oblivion, okay? But instead of just simply kicking things off with action or heart, the trailer opens with an elevator. Riri walks into a building, presses a button, and looks sad. That's how Marvel introduces the next big thing, basically. And that's how they present a genius level inventor. It's laughable and creatively bankrupt. You can feel the hesitation in every shot. They don't believe in it either. Now, the writing itself of the show is not any better because everyone around her says she's amazing. The show tells us over and over again she's a genius, but we don't see her struggle. We don't see her grow. We see her arrive, pre-approved, celebrated, and completely empty. That right there is not a hero. That's a brand mascot, and it's insufferable to watch, actually. Now, Marvel actually wants Ironheart to be, the new Tony Stark, but this character doesn't earn it. You see, she didn't make a hard cause, didn't wrestle with morality, didn't sacrifice anything. Ironheart walked into Wakanda thanks to Kevin Feige, blessed in tech, and now demands to be iconic. That's not storytelling. That's entitlement, and it's making Ironheart a chore to watch. But under Kevin Feige, every shot of the trailer reinforces that Ironheart is owed praise. The world doesn't recognize her brilliance, she's told, and as if that's supposed to make her sympathetic. But she's already at MIT. She's already in the Wakandan circle. She's got access to most heroes would dream of, yet still she pouts. Still she lectures. And Marvel thinks this is compelling. This is actually a tone-deaf nightmare under Kevin Feige. Now, this is Marvel's playbook now, basically. They simply manufacture replacements, calling it innovation. Ironheart is just another product of the assembly line. Same beats, same grievances, same prepackaged empowerment arc that forgets to show the empowerment. But the audience has caught on. They're not clapping anymore, and they're actually walking away. Now, it's not just the writing itself, it's also the marketing that they put in the trailer, too. They want you to like Ironheart because of what she represents, not because of who she is. That's why the trailer is focused more on the mood message than the character or the conflict. That's hollow, it's plastic, and it shows how little Marvel trusts their own material to stand on its own. Now, this used to be a studio that built icons. Now they build hashtags and buzzwords. They used to believe in heroes. Now they believe in quotas. The heart of the humor is weight, and it's all gone. Replaced with one-liners about being undeniable. The only thing undeniable at this point is how far they've fallen. Now, the iconic Ironheart should have been a celebration of innovation and legacy. But instead, Ironheart is lectured, disguised as a launch. Now, there's no arc, no sacrifice, no reason to care, and Ironheart shows up, says she's great, and expects you to nod along. That's not how heroes work. That's how stories work. That's how corporate disasters happen, okay? But the real tragedy is that there was potential for anything Marvel put out there. Now, Ironheart could have been a standout character if Marvel took the time to build her, not brand her. If they let her fail first, then they let her on the suit. But they didn't. And now Ironheart is a cautionary tale, not an inspirational one. Now, Marvel keeps thinking they can manufacture legacy, but I mean, Ironheart simply proves they can. Legacy is earned through pain, through sacrifice, through time, and you can't skip that and expect the audience to cheer. And you also can't sell us a symbol and call it substance. And you can't fake heart right there. And if Marvel keeps doubling down, going down this road where Ironheart is the blueprint, they're not just going to lose fans. They're going to go ahead and lose everything that made them special in the first place. Now, honestly put, this is a thing that's going to be served on a silver platter on Disney Plus, and this is definitely the downfall of the MCU. Okay, now this particular program is based on the Phil comics, as I've mentioned before, where they have Riri Williams and stuff as the bestest ever. You know, no struggle, no sense of humanity either, just basically perfect. And in comics, you know, Riri Williams is supposed to, like, according to Ryan Coogler, Riri Williams and Tony Stark, you know, it's not a passage of legacy or a rite of passage or anything. They're basically friends, and the thing is, Ryan Coogler also said that, you know, Tony Stark is advising her. But here's the thing: in the comics, Tony Stark was dead. It was an AI of him, okay? And simply put, why would you do that? And I guarantee you, Robert Downey Jr. is not even in the series and stuff. You know, it's not comic, but of course, it's not going to be comic book accurate and stuff. And thankfully, that's a small step up. At the same time, it's still just as insufferable as it is in the comics. Okay, but I mean, I wouldn't even bat an eye on this anytime soon because we all know that this is going to flop. Marvel knows this is going to flop, and also Kevin Feige himself, he's also at war with Bob Iger because Iger doesn't want, rumors has it that Iger doesn't want any more of this woke stuff in the brands and stuff, but Kevin Feige wants to continue pushing it. Last time I remember, Iger's the CEO, and those Feige is employee, well, I mean executives, he's actually the employee. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button if you enjoyed what shared in this video, turn on the bell on notifications for future uploads and updates, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.